Mi nickname es Session. Tengo 24 años. Y el primer juego que speedruné fue Zelda Minish Cap hace casi 4 años.
My name is JC on Twitch. I'm 40 years old and I still do speedrunning, and I probably will for a while until either my hands give out or my brain. First game, that's kind of hard to say. My first game on Twitch was Battletoads. That was the first speedrun I really took seriously. But I mean, I was kind of doing something similar to speedrunning growing up already. Like I was playing Mario 1, trying to do it as fast as I could.
Hey, I'm Speedy Wolf. I'm 23 years old. I started speedrunning with Pokemon Blue about 8 years ago, and I speedrun over 20 games at the moment.
My name is Level. I'm 16 years old, and I mainly speedrun the Fodian genre of games, which includes games like Getting Over It, Pogo Stuck, and Jump King, but I mainly speedrun Jump King.
Hey, what's up? I'm the Retro Runner. I speedrun retro video games. I've said that way too many times. My real name's Ian. You can know my real name. I am 39 years young, and the first game that I actually learned how to speedrun had nothing to do with Ninja Gaiden. It was actually Mega Man X. The category was 100%. That's the first speedrun that I ever saw, and that's the first one that I ever was inspired to learn how to do any of that stuff.
Okay, so hi, my name is Once Was Animal. I'm 35 years old and I started speedrunning about 5 years ago now. I'm the world record holder for Dusk 100%, and I also run Blood 80%. I ran a few other games here and there, but yeah, those are my two main games.
Well, my nickname is Clouder. My real name is Sergey, and well, I'm 17 years old. I'm pretty young for a speedrunner who runs like all the FPSs, so I'm pretty young for that kind of games. But my first game that I started running was Ghost Runner Demo. That's the game that got me into speedrunning.
I'm Michael. I'm 22. My tag is Lep, and the first game I speedran fully was Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. And that was probably like 5 years ago at this point. I want to say in 2021, I started doing Hollow Knight speedruns. I played it a couple years before then, casually, but then speedruns, I started doing that after I like fully completed the game, and have been doing that since.
Bueno, me llamo Axel en la vida real y mi nickname también es Axel. Tengo 25 años. Y empecé con speedrunear Hollow Knight, y por ahora es el único juego que speedruneo. Empecé como en octubre del 2021, así que ya habrían pasado 2 años.
Hey, I'm Guanky. I started speedrunning Hollow Knight about 3.5 years ago. It's the first game I've speedrun.
I'm Skate King. A lot of people just call me Skate in the community. This is the first game I've speedran. I played like other games, but this is like the first game I really like stuck to.
Speedrun lo definiría como una competencia contra ti mismo de pasar el juego lo más rápido posible con ciertas reglas. Reglas puestas ya sea por ti, pero lo general son reglas como más aceptadas por la comunidad.
You know, if you just like try to beat a game as fast as you can and you keep track of that, you are speedrunning, and it can be as simple as that, you know. There's a lot of other stuff like strategies and communities that you can get involved with that help you with strategies or tutorials and stuff like that, and you know, you become aware of frames and pixels and frame rules and damage boosts and stuff like that. But basically, that's it. You know, if you ever try to beat a game with a goal, your goal is to beat it as fast as possible, and you time it, boom, you're a speedrunner.
Al menos para mí, partió siendo como competir conmigo mismo, como para ver lo que podría alcanzar, pues, ¿cachai? Como que empecé a speedrunear y quería ver cuánto, si es que podía bajar de 1 hora, ¿cachai? Y de a poco iba bajando, o sea, en realidad iba subiendo la vara para como exigirme cada vez más y ver hasta dónde podía llegar.
It was definitely about personal achievements in the beginning, because I wasn't even doing it to speedrun, right? Because Jump King is just like a game where it's just so easy to get into wanting to play it again and do it faster. Like, I didn't even like think about like submitting my times or anything. It was just like I was just doing it for fun and running the game, and I eventually, was putting more time into it than I thought. But definitely, like, as time has gone on, I definitely care a little more about like my placement on the leaderboard and like my times and stuff. But I'd say overall it's just like a personal achievement for me. Yeah, I like to push myself as hard as I can.
It's a personal achievement, absolutely. Like if it's not personal, then I mean, it's got to be personal. I mean, in a way, even if it's like inspired by somebody else's suggestion that you start speedrunning, it's still like you treat it like a personal challenge to yourself, much like a lot of other challenges you can do in games like deathless or hitless or beating Contra without the gun as much as you possibly can, pacifist, stuff like that. I mean, speedrunning is just another one of those, and I would define it by simply just getting to the credits as fast as you can in a game.
A lot of people like to say that speedrunning is just playing with a timer. You see that a lot, especially with newer players, as kind of like a confidence boost thing. I think it's a very personal decision what you consider speedrunning. I think it mostly has to do with the intention and the attempt, but like the values of speedrunning and the things that make it compelling, I think largely are based on the community aspect of it. I think you can speedrun by yourself, but you're missing out on a big part of what makes it enjoyable, like community contributions where everybody's collaborating on strats and stuff like that to improve not just your own time but the overall time of the game. I think is like a really central part of speedrunning.
Yeah, so when I started speedrunning, I was running the game because I had nothing left to do in Hollow Knight, but I still wanted to be playing Hollow Knight. And as I played more and more, it started to become about competition, and I just really wanted to like be the best at the game. And in a sense, I kind of lost the core aspect of speedrunning, which is like the idea of beating the run is like the game as fast as possible, and it was more about beating that specific run faster than the other people who are also running it, if that makes sense.
I think for me, it started out as just like a personal thing. Like I wanted to do speedrunning because I had like nothing to do. So I really wanted to pick up something where I could just like keep doing it like over and over again. So really it just came out of like a love for the game basically. And then through there, it like as I got better and better, it became like more like competitive, and like I started like trying to compete, to get the best time, right? I mean, that's what speedrunning is all about. I would say it was really just a self-improving thing for the longest time. Like from there, it was really just like comparing myself to like, okay, what does this person do? Like, what do I do? What do they do differently? Why are they better at me? And so, I don't know, I really just like loved the game so much, and I still do.
My main goal is to have fun. I mean, I didn't know that when I started speedrunning, but it became clear that after I got hooked by it, it's just more fun to play video games while running them. It's more fun to speedrun a game than to actually play casually. I'd rather like play a game I really, really like over and over than play like a lot of games one after another just to play games.
It's both. It completely depends on who you are and how much you care about the hobby itself, just like any other hobby. I mean, it could be I don't know. Let's just say chess, for example. If you like, a chess player could either take it so seriously that they want to be the world champion, or they could just, on break at work in the bathroom sometime on their phone. It could be just a little thing, or it could be a large thing, and either way, it's equally as much either a hobby or something taken seriously enough that it's like a profession.
I mean, I could quit streaming. I'm never gonna quit speedrunning forever. I'm always gonna be running something, probably, because Dusk, I'm still gonna run from time to time, probably as I age or come back to it from time to time. I mean, I kind of run Ninja Gaiden on NES, so I think I'm always gonna speedrun that.
Speedrunning? No, but it definitely started as a hobby. It started as, I'll be completely transparent. It started because I had this like pretty significant work injury, and I was in the throes of workers' comp, and it couldn't work, and I had like a lawsuit going, so like I was just stuck, at home, and like I didn't have much to do So I discovered it. A friend and I discovered it, and we got into it that way. You know, I put the time into it because just to keep myself sane, really. But that combined with like the time during the pandemic and some other events, you know, I was able to grow a channel and a whole community around this speedrunning thing, and it turned into like, this is like the best way for me to like make a daily buck, which is strange to say, but in my case at least, is true. But even if that wasn't true, like even if I, you know, like got a conventional 9-to-5 or some kind of, you know, more stable career, right? It would still be a part of who I am, you know. Even just forget about speedrunning, just like streaming, you know, the community and all those people that I know. I couldn't imagine like that never being a part of my life again. And yeah, you could also still apply that to like speedrunning in general, like having the thrill of chasing PBs or world records. It would definitely feel like something was missing if I just kind of dropped the whole thing like tomorrow, which wouldn't happen.
Well, okay, so it's like by itself, like the actual act of speedrunning and maybe streaming the speedruns is definitely a hobby. But like to say that it's not, you know, a financial thing for me, obviously I can't really do it much more than a hobby at this time, and I don't dedicate more than a hobby's amount of time to it. But like we talked about, you know, speedrunning is largely about the community that's formed around it, and that's impacted a lot of my life. I mean, I met my partner through a mutual HK community. I've made lots of friends through the community that I've met in person. There has been a financial thing a little bit with streaming, but that's like the least important part of it. You know, obviously it's really about all of the people that you meet. And with HK especially, it's been really interesting because it's a very LGBT heavy community, especially a lot of trans folks in that community. And that's been really important for me in learning about that group of people and, you know, becoming more emotionally aware and politically aware of that, which sounds ridiculous for a speedrun, obviously. But I mean, it is just a community of people, right? So you're learning from them, and I interact with the communities every day. Obviously, most of the day I'm helping in Discords and stuff, and so if you stretch beyond like the actual physical input of doing speedruns, then it's definitely much more than a hobby to me.
Sí, definitivamente. Bueno, una parte por lo que decías tú de Twitch y de conocer comunidades, de conocer gente, a ti mismo. A la gente de Chile, incluso de otros países, también me ayudó a practicar el inglés, que si bien yo lo sabía, igual en mi día a día no lo practicaba, o sea, no tenía como alguien con quien hablar inglés o dónde hablar o leer mucho inglés más allá de internet. Entonces el hecho de como conocer gente y poder hablar en inglés con esa gente también fue un plus de mantenerlo practicado. Y aparte, como dije antes, también ayuda mucho en el tema de la paciencia y del manejo de la frustración. Porque una cosa es frustrarse, pero la otra es como ya que tu frustración se convierta en enojo.
Sí, la verdad es que bastante bueno. Como que me doy cuenta de como las cosas que puedo hacer, aunque sea un juego, la wea que sea, pero es una wea de que yo lo veo como un deporte, weón, ¿cachai? Y no sé, el haber logrado como tantas cosas en torneos y en PB, como que me hace dar cuenta de como las cosas que puedo hacer si es que como le pongo empeño y si es que me gustan. Y también la gente que he conocido en la comunidad de Hollow Knight de Speedrun, hay como gente muy bacán, entonces eso también, como he conocido gente muy, muy simpática, muy interesante, y eso también me ha aportado como en la vida, se podría decir.
Like for the most part, yeah. There was a time in 2021, like the summer of 2021, about a year after I had been speedrunning the game, where it was like probably not good for my personal life because I had been spending anywhere between like 8 and 16 hours a day playing Hollow Knight. So like in that aspect, I didn't even have a personal life. Hollow Knight just was my life. But I would say overall, Hollow Knight has shaped my life like entirely. At the point I'm at now, both of my partners I've met like to a degree because of Hollow Knight, and most of my friends as well have also met because of Hollow Knight. And I think it's like definitely changed how I like view things and like how I view like getting good at something or like improving at any kind of skill, whether that's playing the piano or doing homework, you know, like it kind of gave me a chance to like rethink how I do things. So I would say, yeah, it's definitely improved my personal life.
Definitely. I never really could have like imagined the ways that it improved my personal life. So like I did have that work injury, and like when you're not, it's different when you're working for yourself, or you're just trying to grow a business, or you're subsisting on, Twitch or something like that. That's different. That's a choice. But when like you can't work and you're injured, it's not good. It knocks your confidence around, and you don't really feel like a part of the world. It's hard to describe if you've never been a part of that kind of scenario, but that's the way it is. And especially at the beginning, as when I started to get what I would describe as good at certain things and meet certain people and get attention, from certain members of the community and stuff like that, I started like build myself back up. I started to feel good about myself, or I at least had something to like, I had some kind of goal, to focus on. And then like even after all those events, you can apply that sort of mentality to anything, it seems strange to say, because like at the end of the day, we're just like pressing buttons which change the colors of little squares on a TV. It's not really a big deal, but like it's just a lot of real stuff, valid stuff there, like not being afraid of failure, tolerating, because a lot of people who get into speedrunning, especially at the beginning, they see like a world record or a personal best, they watch it like that looks really cool, but that's a finished product. That's one attempt out of how many, countless. All of those other attempts are a failure, failure after failure after failure after failure. So like it teaches you to not be afraid to fail, and how to tolerate a lot of failure to get something that you want. And you can apply that to like anything, really.
I guess the biggest thing I feel like saying is I wish for more people to prioritize just kind of enjoying what they're doing more than anything else. It's easy for people to like watch a top runner and be like, oh, there's no point in me even trying because I can't play like they can, or maybe they do try and get into the scene, but they can't perform to either their own standards, or they can't compete very easily with certain people. They feel like other people are progressing more quickly or something like that. And I feel like not enough people just kind of try to take a step back and just kind of prioritize having fun with what they're doing over just kind of putting pressure on themselves to perform to some standards for no real reason.
Siempre pidan ayuda, siempre va a haber alguien dispuesto a ayudar. Como que uno piensa que está solo en este mundo, pero al final siempre hay alguien dispuesto a ayudar y a querer ayudarte a ser mejor. Y eso, tener paciencia y seguir dándole, porque cuando llega el PB después de todos esos intentos se siente muy bien.
I would say that speedrunners are not superheroes. They're not like exceptional people. I mean, certainly they have an amazing talent and have put a lot of time into it, but I know a lot of new runners will see that and think that they can never do that. And maybe you don't have to aim that high. If you're watching a world record video, you might think, oh, I'm never going to get there. I certainly felt that way when I started, but you don't have to. Like, it's just about the time you put into the game and your approach to learning. As long as you're interested in your game and you're having fun playing, you'll continue to play more and you'll get better the more you play. If you talk to the right people, you'll learn the right strats to do. But yeah, I would just say don't think that you can't do it. Everyone can. You talk to any top runner, and obviously they started as somebody that didn't think they were going to do it. So if you want to do it, then go for it. That's what I'd say.
I mean, do what you love. Like, I mean, if you're interested in speedrunning, do speedruns. Like, if you don't like it, then, I mean, you should try it. You should try it first. Like, probably find a game that you love. Find the game that has, like, good mechanics that you love. Like I said, like, if you're an old school player and you love, like, Doom, for example, you should try Doom, like, speedrunning it. You should, like, try to learn it. Probably, maybe you like it, because, like, I mean, I started speedrunning a few years ago, right? And, like, 10 years ago, I would never believe you if you would say, like, hey, bro, you're gonna start running some fucking games in a couple of years. I would never believe you, right? So, like, it all happens, like, it's unexpected.
The main thing I'll tell you is don't be intimidated by it. Like, I hear this all the time, and I would have said it myself too when I started. Like, I'll never be able to do these things. Never. They're too difficult. There's no way that I could ever possibly even get close to these things. If you want to, you can, because what speedrunning is, like so many other things, hobbies, passions, whatever you want to call it, it's a time sink. So if you want to put the time in, you're definitely going to be surprised by what you can do. The other thing that I would say is, like, don't try to mimic a world record, run right off the bat. It could be as simple as, like, I like this game a lot, and I know I can beat this game. I've beaten it a bunch of times. Like, I might not know, like, a lot of speed strats or, like, time save stuff, but I can beat it. I know that I can beat it every time. If you have interest in that speedrun, just slap a timer. See how fast you can do it, and you'd be surprised how addictive it is trying to best